Today's 892nd day that I'm sharing lessons I learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams. You will also allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today, I speak about starting something from scratch, starting from step zero. Such a powerful thing, starting from step zero. Nobody wants to start from step zero. They want to jump in step 100, step 50, because you are working in some kind of career path, maybe in relationships, maybe it doesn't matter where you are, but you're building something and you mastered some kind of skill set in some certain level, and you don't want to go back to step zero. But I think that a lot of times the best thing that you can do is starting from step zero, because there's so many advantages going back into foundations, back into the things that really allows you to be open-minded to new things that you're able to do, because you're not able to jump from 10 step to other step, because it might be that you are climbing the ladder that is wrong. It means that you're not able to jump from one ladder to another ladder, because another ladder is a little bit too far. You're not able to jump. So what you need to do, you need to walk from down from that ladder, or jump from that ladder. And what you do, that means that you will need to walk for a bit on that zero step until you get to another ladder. And it's very, very important. If you understand that you're on the wrong ladder, you can still try to keep climbing that wrong ladder, or you can really walk down the ladder and go find a ladder that really you want to pursue and start climbing that. And because you learn so much things about yourself, and those things that you gathered on the other ladder will still be able to transform the other ladder. Some things will immediately leave behind, and that's okay. And that's very important to understand, that we need to understand there will be sunk cost when you're leaving that other ladder behind, other path behind. But the sooner you realize that it's better to move to other ladder, other path, other room that you want to go, other path, is very, very important that you choose as fast as possible, because it can be regret in the long run, or it could be sunk cost right now. Sunk costs will be even bigger in the future if you choose not to do that. So today we'll really share what it really gives when you really start saying that step zero sometimes could be the best thing for you at the moment. Number one is fresh perspectives. So really beginning from totally zero step really allows you to really enables you to reconsider all the assumptions, and ask yourself, why did I choose this path? Why? What allowed me to really come up with that decision in the first place? Maybe my values changed now, so maybe my perspective changed, maybe wisdom, knowledge changed, and now because I'm much more aware, now I realize that the old me was not as wise as I'm now, and that's okay. You're supposed to be grateful that old you made decisions based on their best abilities. Now, because you have more perspective, you're able to choose. Even though that you have much more wisdom, much more knowledge, much more perspective, you still need to go back to step zero and start from scratch. But now you start from wisdom, from values, from alignment. And because you have more clarity, more focus, that will allow you much more productive and grow in that actually the good path much, much faster. Because a lot of times we are on the path and we are struggling and we're not moving fast because we're just not on the right ladder, not on the right path. Number two is solid foundation. It means that when you're really going back to step zero, be able to reflect. Because there's a saying that if you got knocked out, maybe you don't need to stand up right away, because it will knock out again. Maybe you need to really reflect why you were knocked out, why you are at the bottom at the first place. When you're able to reflect, so when you're walking on that step zero, that allows you really to build foundation, who you are as a person, as a really being able to look internally what and who you are as a person. What kind of traits do you want to represent? Who you are internally? What is essence there? And I think that when you're able to reflect that, it builds massive foundation, and on that foundation you're able to build anything. Number three is clarity and focus. That's again, I already mentioned, but it really needs to be emphasized, because every single time when you're able to really start something from scratch, all the things that you build still allows you to understand all the things that doesn't work. So when you understand what doesn't work, this is a massive power. Because other people, what they did, they never tried. But you tried, you pursued, take action, execute it. And you know that this all the things that you tried doesn't work anymore. So means that you have a lot of power in your belt, unless of course you will be regretful of all the things, but you will say that you see mistakes, failures. But if you see it as lessons, opportunities for learn and reflect, now all this will be your advantages when you really pursue the new path. And you will have that new focus, new clarity, because you know now with more clarity and more certainty that this is exactly what you're supposed to do rather than other paths that you tried and you failed. Failed, but and succeeded to fail. Number 4 is creativity and innovation. The more things you try, the more things that you're able to come up with. The more things you try, the more things that you're able to come up with, because you try this one, this one, this one, and then of course when you're able to put all them together, you're able to create new ideas, new things, new ways of doing things. Because the only way that you build curiosity and creativity is by being creative. Like the same with energy. If you want to have energy, you need to give energy. You want to be creative, you need to give and use creativity to get more of it. Number 5 is course correction. It's very powerful. So if you were climbing one ladder, and you understand that this ladder doesn't lead where you want to be. You understand that the top is not what you want to be. That means that your vision is a different direction. So that means that you're able to go down to step 0, and really change the direction of your life. And this is very powerful. And sometimes that's what we need to do. And sometimes we will need to change our situation and environment. A lot of things will need to change. And people are afraid of that, because sometimes we need to make a very incremental changes, and sometimes we need to make massive changes. Because maybe you are in a 15 step or maybe 100 step on that career when you realize that this is not for you. So that at that moment, there's a massive change from step 100 to step 0. And most people will stay in their career even though they understand it's not for them, because they don't want to make that massive change between 100 step and 0 step. But I truly believe that you deserve better lifestyle. You deserve, and everyone is enough to really make sure that they live the path, to live the life that they're supposed to live. And really going to step 0 really allows to correct and pivot the life. And I don't believe there is any times when you're too old to really correct your life. Because when you finally realize that this is not for you, I think that's the best time to really change direction. But if you stay there maybe for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years in the same direction, even though that you realize that is not the best direction, you still are able to really find opportunity, how to build the courage to change and go back to step 0 to really make that change necessary to really succeed. Number 6 is learning and growth. Learning and growth. That means that when you step 0 is one of the best ways to really understand where I want to go. Because when you're on a step 100, it's not a lot of choices to really choose what you're able to do, because there's quite significant path that you're able to go, and sometimes it's very, very narrow. But when you're on the foundational step 0, you have so much potential to learn different things and grow and improve and be open-minded to different things. And I think that there's opportunity really to really grow from scratch. That means that a lot of times the 0 step, so from 0 to 1 is much more difficult than from 1 to 100. From 0 to 1 is much more difficult than from 1 to 100. Because really starting something a lot of times is very, very challenging. Not every single time. It depends on all different things, of course, because people sometimes love to start, but they just not able to sustain it. But some careers, it's just really very, very, very hard to start. But when you start, you just keep moving forward. And it depends on the person. I'm a more of person who really harder for me to start, but when I start, I'm able to keep doing consistent. That's why I'm doing my YouTube on a consistent basis every single day, because for me it was very, very hard to start, but when I start, I'm able to move that forward. So overall, when I think about really starting from scratch and starting from step 0, so what it teaches us? It teaches us a lot of things, because first is makes us builds us a humbleness, humility, because when you understand that you're not able to really be afraid of step 0 and be humble at the same time. You're not able to be afraid of step 0 and be humble at the same time. Because humble people, what they do, they're not afraid to grow. They're not afraid to say that maybe I didn't know in the past, but now I know better. So that means that they are not afraid of other people's opinions on them because they are humble enough. They understand that they are worth it, and that it doesn't matter what kind of path they choose. Maybe they are not as good in new career path as they used to be in the previous path, but because they're humble enough, they're able to really make that choice. Second is patience. It builds massive patience because you are expecting some kind of results from the first path, but you're not getting results. But now you're going back to step 0 when you will not get any results whatsoever from beginning as well. So that means it requires massive patience looking for results from step 0. And again, that just shows that you're able to build a character when you start from scratch. Next one is adaptability. It's a massive adaptability because you just need to really learn how to pivot, adapt, really change yourself because you potentially need to really expand yourself. Look at you, okay, what is my comfort zone? What I need to do, and what I will need to how I will need to expand myself to really pursue that new path. Number 4 is resilience. That's again, is a massive thing. That means you really need to make sure that you have the mindset, I will work I will work on this until I will succeed. So that means when you will work on this one until I will move from step 0 to 1. I will work until on this one, I will find the path they want to pursue. Because if you're on step 0, maybe you're just still looking which direction you will take that first step. And that's okay. And unless you just keep on that first step and not planning to take that first step whatsoever. Because step 0 is just really figure out which direction you will take. And that resilience is very, very important. And again, that's being able to celebrate the progress and really improve and look how to improve those incremental improvements. And most importantly, I truly believe that when you're at step 0, one of the most important parts is still have collaboration. People, mentors that could really guide you through that step 0 phase. Because there's a lot of people who are in the career that you want to pursue, the first 10 step, 100 step, and really being able to ask how they did it and really follow that allows, I think, that really people who are in step 0 to really get the insights necessary to really start making those strides to make sure that we're able to, in that new path, to go that 100 step, 1,000 step, and beyond. I think that's when you really start a new path and really passionately move into the direction and with the clarity and focus, and you know that that's exactly what you need to do. You have more focus, more productivity, and you bypass previous path in a very short period of time. And you have that overnight success because you build yourself and you build the character that really requires to really move to other direction. Because most people are afraid to make that change. And only people who really understand the power of life and living a life without regret, those people are the people who are not afraid to start from scratch 0, from step 0 from scratch, and really making their life into their hands. So I hope that you reflect on where you're at. It might be that you need to not start from step 0, maybe go a few steps backwards to make sure that you're able to adjust and pivot the things that it works based on your values, based on your morals, based on the things that you're trying to achieve. Because the most important part is who you want to become. And do you do things that allows you to become the person you want to become? So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.